last 3 months, I've cashed out about $20,000 using prop firms trading futures on them. So let's jump right into talking about these prop firms that I mentioned. So this is a website called Payout Junction, which shows the top payouts from each prop firm. And obviously you can see the total payouts of each one here, but I filtered this based on the last 30 days. So you can see Tradeify is pretty much at the top right now. Here's a look at the list so you can kind of see. Funded Futures Family, which is another one I've taken payouts from. My Funded Futures is another good one. Here's a screenshot of my Rise account. You can see the payouts I've had from Tradeify and Funded Futures. I'm going to focus on 5 prop firms that I've actually used and gotten payouts from, and I'm going to list them right here and go through them one by one. There's tons more prop firms you can look up yourself on Google by just searching futures prop firms. Make sure you're not searching Forex prop firms because those are for foreign exchange markets, and if you're not used to those, I wouldn't touch them. Look for the ones that let you trade indices. Because this video is focused on beginners into the prop space, I'm going to start with a 50K account, which is pretty much all you need to start making money. So Tradeify has 3 types of accounts, which is advanced, growth, and straight to sim funded, and each one has its perks. This is Tradeify's cheapest account, the advanced account. It's $69 per month. You can also find promo codes on their Discord or on Twitter to get it for cheaper. Now the goal of this account is to hit $3,000 profit target in order to get funded with them. What the other stuff means is max contracts is 5 lots is the max you can trade, and I will get into how the lots work and how futures work in a different video, but this is not for that. The max drawdown is 2,000 and there's no daily loss limit, so obviously your max limit is 2,000. So if you lose 2,000 in a day, you have to restart the evaluation and pay, $45 reset fee, as you can see, to try to pass this test again. Now what the drawdown mode means intraday is that this is calculated based on your highest P&L for the day. So you can be up $3,000, and if you don't close out that trade and it goes down to 1,000, you lose that account. So it's a trailing stop loss that moves live. So I really don't like this account, but this is the cheapest one. If you want to not pay much to start off, you can use this. Other thing about this account is it has a $125 activation fee. So once you do pass this, you still have to pay $125 just to activate your funded account. The next account, which is the 50K growth account, which is the one I use, which is what I like, it's $139 a month. With promo codes, you can find probably 40-50% off. But again, it's 3,000 target, 5 contracts. There is a daily loss limit of $12.50, which keeps you from blowing it all in one day. Again, trailing drawdown of 2,000. So once you lose 2,000, you're done. But the cool thing about this is it's at the end of the day. So it's calculated at whatever balance you end at the end of the day. So if you finish at 51,000, now your stop loss goes from 48,000 to 49,000. You have a minimum of 1 day to pass, which means if you hit $3,000 in a day, great, you're funded. You move on to the next one. Reset fee, if you do lose the account, is $85, and there's no activation fee. So that's the cool thing about this one. Last one with Tradeify, this is straight to sim funded. So this means you're funded automatically, but it starts with a 25K account. It's $350 one-time fee. Max 1 contract, and then this one has a $1,000 daily limit, and then the drawdown is calculated at the end of the day. Now with this, you're going for payouts. You need 7 days of trading to get paid out. Maximum, you can have 5 of these accounts, and then the consistency rule is 20%. Now what consistency means is that your biggest day can't be more than 20% of your total balance. So if you made $1,000, in order to get a payout, you have to make at least $5,000 on that account to get a payout. I wouldn't really worry about this account because this is mainly for, people that have been trading for a while. They just want to go straight to funded. So I wouldn't worry about this if you're a beginner. Stick with the advanced or the growth one. My suggestion, growth. Next on my list is TopStep. This is my second favorite one. They're pretty straightforward. They have a few different account sizes. They're always on discount. $49 for a 50K account. Again, $3,000 profit target, 5 max contracts, and a $2,000 limit, a max loss limit that follows you after the end of the day. So, the more once you make some money, your stop loss moves from 48,000 to whatever your balance is minus 2,000. Cool thing about TopStep is they don't have a daily loss limit, but they do have an activation fee. So once you do pass, you have to pay a $149 activation fee to get your funded account. One thing I didn't mention, with most prop firms, during payouts, you can only cash out about 1,500 capped per account each payout cycle. But with Top Step, their cap is 5,000 per account per cycle, and it's a lot higher than the other one. So you can potentially, with the 5 accounts you're allowed on Top Step, cash out $25,000 in a payout cycle if you're experienced. One thing I don't like about Top Step is they have their own platform called Top Step X, so you're pretty much stuck to them. You can't use TradingView, none of the stuff like NinjaTrader, so you're stuck on their platform, and I've been having some issues with their platform. So that's kind of been why I haven't been using them. I've been using Tradeify lately, but I do like their rules. So this is Funded Futures Family, and I won't waste too much time on this just because it's pretty much the same as Tradeify. They have 3 different types of accounts. Each one has a different type of rules, and I've pretty much explained to you guys how each one's work on Tradeify. It's pretty much the same on Funded Futures Family. The cheaper ones have intraday trailing drawdown, which is the live drawdown that moves with your balance. They also have activation fees and all that stuff. And then the other 2 plans are a little bit more expensive, but they don't have activation fees and they don't have the intraday drawdown. So that's the bonus. But I've had payouts with these guys, so they're pretty legit too. And you can see the price of the different plans. Here's the second one, and here's the final one. So if you want to go on their website, you can see these plans for yourself. And I've pretty much explained how each of these work. So, So this one is Take Profit Trader. This one's kind of unique. Obviously, you can see a 50K account is $170 a month, but they do have a promo code which brings it down to about $120. Again, profit target is $3,000. You can trade max on 6 contracts on this one. Again, end of day drawdown, but it's $2,000. They don't have a daily loss limit. Cool thing about these guys is once you pass, again, 0 activation fee right now is what they're running, but once you have that funded account, as soon as you pass the $2,000 buffer, which is, so once you get the balance over 52,000, anything after that you can withdraw daily. So once you pass 52,000, let's say the first day, second day you make $4,000, you can cash that out that same day and they'll pay you out. That's the unique one of this. I still haven't had a fully funded account with these guys, but this is the next one I'm going to do. And with these guys, you can have up to 5 accounts as well. So if you have 5 accounts trading, copying them, you can get 5 times the payouts each day if you're good. Last but not least is Apex on my list, and this is my least favorite one on this list, and here's why. As you can see, it says it's $187 each month for the 50K account, which they always have an 80 to 90% promo going, so it's going to be more like $20 for this account. Now, they do allow 10 contracts to trade for the evaluation, and it is a $3,000 goal to hit as usual. They do have a $2,500 drawdown, which is cool. It's a little bigger than the other ones, but it's a live trailing drawdown right from the get-go. So you got to be careful. If you're in a trade, you're up, $3,000, and you don't close out and you go back down to $500 profit, you lose that account. Here's their, rules right here. So obviously they're explaining the trailing live drawdown. The other thing about this is there's a minimum of 7 days of trading. So even if you hit that $3,000 in one day, you still have to trade or log a trade in for 6 more days just to pass this account. They're pretty strict with news trading. So I only like Apex for one reason and one reason only, because you can have a maximum of 20 accounts. And this is where it gets to scaling up. For more experienced traders, you can have up to 20 accounts, and if you're really good, you can really stack up those payouts. Anyways, y'all, that's all I have for today. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, follow, and comment on this video. If you want to learn anything else from prop firms, just comment and I'll happily make a video explaining whatever you guys want. Peace. Oh, and don't forget, I'll be making another video this week on trading futures and how that works.